Morning, guys. As you can see, I'm having a bit of a lazy one at home this morning, but I promised you a video on goal setting, so here I am. I apologise if the picture's not great, but it is really sunny here at the moment, and I'm sat next to a window, so I do apologise if it's a little bit bright for you. Okay, bit of information about goal setting for you. Goal setting is a crucial element of coaching of all descriptions, and for very good reasons. If you don't know what it is you actually want to achieve, you will not come anywhere near your capability levels. There is a well-known phrase, which is, if you do not know where you are going, you will end up somewhere else. And I think that is very, very true. Now, goal setting with children is particularly important because they are learning how to create their own path, how to achieve what they want, and how to become a success. So it's really important that they get these skills a little bit earlier than we did, so that they can achieve their full potential as they get older. As an interesting study was recently done, obviously there's a lot of research going into coaching and why it's so effective at the moment. And this study was done in America and looked at a group of adults and the behaviours they had as children, and also the current habits of our children with regard to goal setting. And the studies have shown that only 5% of our children actually set any type of goals at all. It's not particularly surprising. Most kids are out there playing with a football, hanging out with their mates, and that's fine. That's what you'd expect them to be doing. But it is quite an important element that they learn to goal set. Now, out of these 5%, 2% of these children had rough goals. They knew roughly where they wanted to end up, but they weren't structured and they weren't written down. 3% had clear, well-structured goals which were written down. Now, what's really surprising is the results that these children had as they matured into adults. The 2% of children who had some rough goals, they had a rough idea of what it was they wanted to achieve, were earning on average twice as much as the 95% of children who had no goals. That in itself was quite an accomplishment, but the 3% of children who had clear, well-structured, written down goals were earning on average 10 times as much as the 95% of children who had no goals. Now, as a parent, I'm fairly certain I don't want my children to be in the 95%. I want them to have as many opportunities in life as possible. So to do this, I have taught them goal structuring, and I hope that you will do the same for your children. Now, obviously, not everybody's aim is financial, but there's a reason why they studied financial gain, and that was simply because it was the most easily measured factor. Happiness, marriage success, parenting skills were all factors which would also have been proved at the same levels, but they weren't tangibly measurable. For the purposes of teaching your children to goal set, we'll be using the SMART model. It's one of the models that are used quite frequently with children because it seems to be highly effective. It's one of the simpler goal setting models, and children do tend to take on board and enjoy most what they actually understand. So having a nice simple model that they can relate to is the best way to move forward with goal setting for children. So within the SMART model, each of the letters stands for an element of the goal setting, and we're going to go through them one by one. So you can grab a pen and paper, or if you haven't got one to hand, you can replay this later and jot down the information that you need then. So beginning with S. S stands for specific. It is very important that anyone who's setting goals must be specific about what it is they want to achieve. If your goal is too variable, it is very easy for you to not commit to it, or to lose motivation, or for your subconscious and just not to accept it as a goal which you are going to follow. So when setting your goal, make sure you outline exactly what it is you want to achieve. Don't say, I want to lose some weight. Say, I will lose 8 pounds. That is very, very specific. It tells you exactly what it is you're going to achieve and ensures that you can commit to it. Okay, moving on to M. M is for measurable. It is very, very important when setting goals, and particularly long-term goals, which is what your children may be doing, that they are measurable. It is very easy to lose motivation if you are chasing a goal for quite a long time, or if you're setting your sights very high. It's really easy for you to lose motivation. And one of the most effective ways to stop this happening is to see progress. Now, if your goal is measurable, you will be able to look at it at any point in time and analyse whether you've made any progress towards it, what you could be doing to take further steps towards it, and basically review it on a regular basis. So when you're setting your goals, make sure that it is measurable, that it is not something which just is completely intangible and cannot be in any way measured. A is for achievable. It's very, very important that your goal can actually be achieved. You must still aim high, you must still have a high expectation of yourself, but it's got to be an achievable goal. If you have blonde hair and your goal is to naturally become dark haired, it's not going to happen. So make sure that the goal that you are setting is physically possible. And that it is realistically attainable. If you want to earn $1 billion by tomorrow and you have no business and no product and no idea, then it is an unachievable goal. If you want to earn $1 billion within 10 years and you have the facilities to create products and to create a business, then that's an achievable goal. It's a high goal, but it's an achievable goal. R. R stands for resourced. And again, this is quite important. Sometimes when people set goals, they forget that they actually need to know what they need to get there. In the cases of children setting goals, you might want to look at, for example, what studies they need to be doing. If they're setting a career goal, it might be that some of their classes in school now are more important than others, that some of their grades need to be higher than others, and that maybe they should have a rough idea of what colleges will offer the best placements for their further education based on their goal. It's not that they have to have everything planned out immediately. It just means that they're aware that there are resources that they are going to need and be aware of what they are. T is for time framed, and this is one of the most crucial elements of goal setting. It is very easy to set a goal and not commit to it. And if you do not put a time frame on the goal that you've set, you will not commit to it on a subconscious level. So you must always have a time frame, and it must be very specific. So not at some point or at some time during the next 10 years. You need to make sure that your goal is time framed in a specific manner, such as by the 31st of December 2015, I will have, and then outlining the rest of your goal. If you follow these measures and make sure that the goals that your children set are smart, you will find that they will absorb them on a subconscious level and naturally begin working towards them. Now, kids change their mind, and this is fine. I'm not suggesting any parents out there to ask the children to set goals and make them stick to them. Changing your mind is just part of growing up, as is making mistakes. They're going to fall, they're going to have to pick themselves up. That is all natural. I believe that goal setting just gives our children the best chance possible of reaching their potential as they get older and getting the most out of their life. Now, one other element that you will need to look at is helping your children to actually figure out exactly what it is that will make them happy. This can be quite difficult because the information that you need to find this out is normally stored on a subconscious level, and it's not readily available to us without using certain techniques to elicit the information. So that's something that you're going to want to do some research on, or I may come back to you soon and give you some more information on how to do that. Now, for those of you who would like to enlist the help of a coach for your children, the online coaching is now up and running, which means I can coach kids all over the world via a variety of media types. There is more information on the site, so you can have a look on there, or you can pop me an email and I'll get in touch with you. The free exercise on the site will be getting updated in a couple of weeks' time. So if you want the one that's on there now, you need to download that over the next couple of weeks. It's currently about getting to know the members of your family a little better and finding out a bit more about your child's life. So download that one now. You can always come back to me and download the other one when it comes up in a couple of weeks. That's absolutely fine. And if you want to be kept updated on my story and the progress of TYLC, then download the exercise and I'll send you the occasional newsletter, just keeping you up to date with my personal news and letting you know of any developments which might be of assistance to you and your family. That's it for now. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. I will be back with you soon. Warmest regards to you and the family. Thanks. Bye-bye.